We were just talking before we started the podcast. I actually was on the call in the booth for your first ever start at Virginia Tech. It was at Rutgers, and it was on Big Ten Network. I remember preparing for your film and talking to everybody in the program about you. So I want to go back to when you transferred to Tech. What was the moment when you realized you made the right decision? Was there something that kind of clicked to you during that time?
I knew I made the right decision, especially like right when I got on campus. But I knew I wanted to go to Tech. Like before, when I entered the portal, I never even thought about Virginia Tech. But then, first day portal open, Coach Bowen, the ROC at the time, like first day portal open, he flew to Waco, and that just spoke volumes to me. Like first day it opened, like you made it a point, like I was the priority, and that's all I wanted out of a school. I just wanted to feel wanted, and then VT and Coach Bowen made me feel that. And then as soon as I just got on campus, I knew it was the right place for me.
Yeah. What was that transition like for you when you transferred schools? It happened super fast. You kind of have to re-earn your spot on the Virginia Tech roster. What was that like?
Yeah, it was fast, but I knew I didn't want this long process.
Yeah.
I tried to get some visits out there just because like out of high school I didn't get visits. I was in the
Mhm.
COVID era with the visits. So VT was my only visit I ever had. But just getting on campus and then trying to earn my spot. I mean, I knew it was gonna be a challenge.
Yeah.
Just me still having to work and show everybody what VT brought me here for. And unfortunately, I didn't get to earn that starting role in the first two games. And then I just knew like when coach told me that I was gonna be the two, I didn't have a bad attitude about it. I told him I respect his decision, but I did tell him like when my opportunity did come, I wasn't gonna look back, and
Yeah.
that's what happened. I got my first start against Rutgers, and then it's been all she wrote ever since.
Yeah. You grew up in Pearland, Texas, in Houston area. That's like the football king of the world down there, man.
Yeah,
It's only football down there. I have a good buddy, Trey Anderson, who's from that area as well. Was a quarterbacks coach at Arizona State when I was there. What was it like growing up in a area where football was so important? And when did football first become more than just a game for you?
uh, growing up in it, my whole family's a football family. My dad, he was a football coach. I grew up a coach's kid. My grandpa was my dad's coach, so
Mhm.
just always been around football. And then knowing when it was more than just a game for me, probably going into my junior year, that's when I really like my dad seen the sacrifice I made. Cause growing up, I was like, I didn't really want to like play football. My main sport was basketball. Like I wanted to go to college for basketball. I wanted to do that. But then I realized like I'm 6'2", 6'3", shortest on the team. It's not really like that easy like it was for football. And then I made that sacrifice to not play basketball that summer just to really lock in on football and the team and just get to really like be with the guys. And then we had a good season my junior year, went undefeated, won state. I started getting the offers. And then that's really like when I fell in love with football for real, just having those moments with the guys each and every week, Friday night, just going out there and go winning games. And then when we won state, it was just a real moment for me just because to win state with my dad was a big thing. And
Yeah.
then he had already been to state two or three times before that and haven't won. So him winning his first state championship with me as the quarterback, it was just a huge moment for both of us. So yeah, that was then.
What was the moment in high school where you realized that you were different, that you were going to play at a really high level for a long time?
I would say after that junior season, I was a late bloomer. I didn't get to start until my junior year. So just me having my first year starting and then going undefeated, winning state, I knew I was different. I remember going to my dad each and every week, seeing all these other guys around the Texas area get all these offers during the season. And my dad just kept telling me every week, every time I talked to him, just keep my head down, win games, coach is gonna find
Yeah.
you. And I live by that. Just if you do what you're supposed to do, somebody gonna find you and somebody gonna want you. So that's all I kept doing.
Yeah.
We went undefeated, and then I remember I got my first offer from William and Mary like night before the state game, and then after we won state, that's when my phone just started blowing up after that.
Yeah, you had offers then from programs all over the country: Auburn, Ole Miss, TCU, Pitt. Why'd you choose Baylor?
Um, I almost going into it, I was ready when I got that Auburn offer. I was really ready to commit right there because it was like just crazy how I got the offer. My dad had brought me in one day and was like, out of all the schools that could hit you up, if there was an offer that you want, like which one would it be? And I told him Auburn. And then like the next morning, Coach Malzahn hit me and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted the Auburn offer. I got the Auburn offer. Then I was ready to commit. And then growing up, I was like, I didn't want to stay in Texas. Like I just kept saying, I want to get out of Texas. In college, I want to get out. And then when it came down to like really making that decision with my family, I was like, nah, I really want my family to see me play. Like up until this point, like I've always had family at my games.
Yeah,
So after that, I took Auburn off the table and then it was out of TCU and Baylor. And TCU, I feel like I was almost picking there until me and my dad had got a feeling about some of the coaches there. And then I looked at Baylor, went on a junior day there, really just fell in love with the place, had a good relationship with Fedora. That's who I was
yeah,
committed to at the time. And then I just committed and was really happy with my decision.
yeah. And then when you when you got to college, I always talk about how I remember my first couple months and kind of having that welcome to college football moment, that kind of where you're realizing it's different than high school. Did you have a moment when you got to Baylor you were like, oh shit, this is going to be a little bit,
Huh.
this is big time football now?
I had that moment our first week of spring practice.
A little faster.
Just going into that offense, like Coach Grimes' offense, because I committed to Baylor with Fedora, and then like the day after signing day, like all offensive staff got fired, and then
Yeah,
I was with Grimes, and then Coach Grimes' offense was just different from everything I was used to. Pro style, under center, just really. If you didn't know the formations like the back of your hand, you really didn't know the offense. So just
yeah,
you have a play with 3 or 4 motions in one play. And then like I remember the hardest thing for me was being under center, trying to give a jet sweep, time up a jet sweep while reading how many blockers you have, how many people flowing with the jet sweep, and then trying to
yeah,
time that up to give it or not. And like my first week there, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna just take this red shirt, really learn the offense, and just keep building from there.
yeah. When you had that redshirt year at Baylor, did you feel like it taught you anything during that time, patience, or you go from kind of being the man in high school to having a redshirt year one when you get in college?
It taught me a lot of patience. I would say just redshirting really like I don't want to say humble me, but it did. Uh, Taught me a lot about patience and just staying with the course, just seeing how hard guys really worked, how much time you really have to put in to really be successful. Because my freshman year was the year we won the Big 12, went 12-2, and then that was just like a big year for Baylor sports all around. So
Yeah,
I thought I wanted to like battle and battle for the starting spot going into that year, and then it got to like week 1 versus Texas State, and I just seen how much time you really have to put in to get ready for a game, and I was still just trying to figure out how to juggle football at school.
yeah,
So just seeing all that and see how hard the guys really worked, I just took all that in, learned from GB Gary Bohannon. That's who really like took me under his wing and taught me everything when I was there. Just learned from him all the time. Whenever he was in, I would try to be in when I didn't have class, and then just taught me a lot about just staying with the course and then just doing whatever you need to do.
yeah. And then I want to go back to talking about Virginia Tech and where you're at now and that program, because I've known Coach Pry for a while. He was the defensive coordinator when I was at Penn State, and I did an interview with him a year ago, and he's an awesome coach. What was your first impression of Coach Pry during the recruiting process, and then when you got on campus?
Coach Pry, my first impression was he's real loud compared to what I was used to with Coach Aranda. Coach Aranda's not really much of a talker, really quiet. So
Yeah,
that was my first impression. But I love Coach Pry. He real cool, real really love his players. And I'm just glad that he really wanted me.